This is sports stuff. Betting stuff.
Ow.
Let's do this.
Let us do this. This is Sports Stuff Betting Stuff, the number one sports betting podcast coming out of the Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I'm your host, the original degenerate, Muff, joined alongside the Ohio Homer, the Ohio degenerate, the capo of the Midwest Crack House, Jim.
Good to see everyone.
And also the guru of medicine, the medical degenerate, person who brings all of the injury reports and tells us when things are Gumbies and when things are not Gumbies and when we should be worried, Alex.
That's me.
That is the crew here. And as always, we have our totems with us, our tokens of good luck, if you will. As a reminder, everybody discuss theirs. Start with Alex.
Boonie hat down in the trenches.
I got
Jim?
the Kraken hat.
The
Good thing since the Kraken hat.
Yeah, the capo of the Midwest Crack House does keep the Kraken hat. And I have my Blender sunglasses. You heard that right. I was wearing these before Dion was famous for them.
Are they blenders for real?
These are blenders, yeah. I think I've called them breakers, but I think that's like a type of blender sunglass.
Oh shit! You were Dion before Dion. You were Prime before Prime.
Well, Prime was always Prime.
Yeah,
but as far as these glasses, maybe I was a step ahead of him. Maybe.
I'm proud of you.
So here we go. As a reminder, FanDuel is our exclusive betting app. Hashtag FanDuel. FanDuel. As we go through this episode, they may want to jump on the train and put our podcast in some ways affiliated with them because we're still on a heater.
We are damn good.
We are getting good. I can't tell if we're just gonna be better this year or if it's just a fluke so far. I'm gonna ride the wave.
We're better. For now, I'm just gonna say we're better. That's it. You can also follow our bets, or at least most of our bets. Definitely my bets. I think Jim's have been consistently there. Maybe Alex on the Action app.
Yep.
At the Real Medical Degenerate has logged 0 bets this week, but
Jim is.
I am the Buckaville Butcher, and all my bets.
There's no the. Calm down.
Oh yeah, sorry, Buckaville Butcher. Sorry.
And I'm at C McPherson 20 on the Action app. You can see all of our bets tracked in there, along with our units up, down. We have our best bets. Sometimes we'll add some other things in there, some parlays.
Yeah, all my bets are in there. Sweet. I can confirm that.
For how many? I mean, you can also see your units up and down, Jim.
Yeah. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if I'm doing that actually correct.
Well, if you're updating your lines and the odds, then yes, it's correct.
I don't feel good about that part. I don't know if that's tracking.
It is. It's in some way. I don't know if you're tracking it correctly. All right, let's get into last week's recap. We will start out with Alex.
Alex went 500 last week, so still not a losing record, so I'll take it. I won the Colts at Houston, Colts -1, and Penn State covered 14.5 at Illinois, and I lost the Detroit Lions -5.5 for Seattle Seahawks and Florida State -26.5 at Boston College.
Puts Alex's total record for the season at 11-6. Next, we'll go to Jim.
I lost the Colorado game because the Prime just couldn't keep up. Colorado won the game, but couldn't cover. I lost the Detroit game. Very upset about that against Seattle. And then I lost the Patriots game, which don't really want to talk about that.
Do we need to bring Noah into this? Do we need to have a conversation?
He was very gracious to me. He didn't rub that in my face.
He
said long season, but I feel like that's gonna haunt me. I hit the UNC game. UNC -7.5 to Minnesota. I hit the WU game in this one. It did cost me in the work pool. I'm down a game in the work pool. But since I mentioned the work pool, I'm 11-5 in the work pool.
Good.
Feeling good about that.
Those are outright or are those spread bets?
Spread bets.
Okay, good.
So I just still am confused on you. I guess you just wanted to win one of them. Like that would stress me.
I was just trying to hit one.
That would stress me out.
Yeah. I hit the Penn State game. Super pumped about that. And I hit the Colts game.
I think the
I
Colts.
don't understand why we didn't make that the hit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know why Muff didn't take it.
I'm kind of upset by that.
I mean, I'm not too upset
I
in the
can't say.
end. Like,
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
get it.
say.
I get it.
Realistic.
That puts Jim at 4-3 for the week and 10-8 overall, which leads to me, Muff, the original degenerate, the man with the lead at the moment. I went 5-2 this past week. The
You
moment.
got a 9-game winning record here, brother.
I'm 9 games over 500, which probably equates to 6-ish units up. So we're in a good spot.
That's the best in the history of the betting show. Have you been up that high?
No, I don't think anybody's ever been 9 games over 500 overall. Maybe
That's
in a week. So I'm on the heater of heaters. 13-4 overall. I had the Chargers Titans over 45, which was a win. Jim was very doubtful, but that I think ended up being an easy win. I did lose like everyone else. The Lions to cover against the Seahawks, -5.5. I took the Cowboys to cover 9.5, taking on the Jets. Easy win there. Penn State to cover against Illinois, 14.5 was a win. Rutgers to cover 6.5 versus Virginia Tech, also a win. Washington to cover 16.5 versus Michigan State was a win. And I also was on Colorado to cover and condemn the dirty hit that was placed on Travis Hunter that lacerated his liver.
Lacerated his liver. We didn't know that on the Sunday show.
Mm-mm.
Lacerated the liver. Ooh.
Yeah, I will say I was pretty impressed, and I liked the way that Dion and Travis Hunter approached that. They did not call for that because the kid that hit him was receiving like death threats.
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
listen,
and you know,
it's football, people.
I know. I was gonna say like maybe hot take, maybe not out their opinion, but like I rewatched the hit again whenever they talked about him having a lacerated liver, and I mean, yeah, it was obviously a little excessive, but he didn't like leave his feet or like really. I don't know. It was you could tell he was making a statement with it, but he didn't like. He kind of just stood there and let the guy run into him. Do you know what I mean? Like
Well,
Are you trying to say it wasn't dirty?
Alex, it was dirty.
No, I just said it was. I just said it was obviously overly excessive, but I don't think it was like malicious intent. I think it was more just trying to send a signal.
Alex, he took 3 or 4
really
steps
on that porch, brother.
He took 3 or 4 steps into that hit.
I've seen a lot dirt. I've seen hits like that where guys like dive into a defensiveless guy, and those are the ones to me that look dirtier.
I've never felt you were a Yinzer more than right now.
He launched a little bit at him, Alex. I'm not gonna lie. He took 3 or 4 steps.
I'm not saying it was a clean hit by any stretch. I'm just saying I don't think like it deserves that. Well, nothing deserves like death threats like that, but I don't think it was.
Doesn't deserve death threats, but
like I think you're a little like I think it's a little over the top for like the death threat thing. I think it was just like it was a hit intended to be out of the lines of the rules of the game. Like I have no doubt that when we talk intent, he knew what he was doing.
This is the betting show. I'm not going to get into it with you, but Alex,
I just don't think it was
Here's a guy who game 1 and 2 where it was believing, and now you've totally gone the other way.
No, I just believed when they were playing Nebraska they were going to win.
I would love to roll back the tape on this. You've so gone backwards.
I don't think Alex at any point there said didn't believe in Colorado. Alex was more about this hit. That was a very singular incident.
After a press.
Oh, I'm annoyed at this. I'm annoyed. I was annoyed with the show of this weekend. I said that's what I said.
But after a press conference, when he called out, "Do you believe now?" Alex was on the bandwagon of, "I believe." I'm with, because I was like, "Oh well, I'm with Alex. I believe too."
I don't think that they're bad. I think that they're annoying.
And now it's like
There's
that hit was.
There's a difference between believing in that they're a good team and
I'm annoyed.
finding them annoying. And I find them annoying.
That hit was. It was. I'm not going to say the word dirty, but
I would say dirty before I said malicious. I guess I'm looking at it and I'm looking at it from like a medical standpoint. I think he meant to knock his ass on the ground.
He lacerated his liver.
That's easier than you'd think. We had a guy hanging a TV fall over on an end table and lacerate his spleen. So like, I mean, shit like can happen. Yeah, if you get hit in the right spot with the right like force, it's not unheard of.
Moving on to the special picks from last week. First, what? You just said this is a betting show, Jim. You don't want to get into it.
But Muff, you would never let this slide if this was me.
He made his opinion clear.
Yeah.
I respect your opinions. That's just, and I said it's an opinion.
Muff, you give him a little more shit than this.
I already did. I told Alex that I think he's off his rocker, and I understand Alex is trying to use the malicious versus dirty situation. The outcome was obviously entirely unexpected. If you would have told that defensive back he was going to go in and clean his clock at the shoulders, he would not have said, "Oh, the outcome's going to be a lacerated liver."
Yeah, I don't think the guy was like, you know what? I hope I hurt one of his internal organs. I think he was like, I'm sick of them running their mouth. I'm going to lay a dirty hit on him.
Oh, okay.
That's more of an upset.
Plus, I want to know what the grade of this liver laceration and all of this is too, because that's a whole other conversation.
Come on, Muff.
The degenerate can get down into.
You have to break it down to the grade.
I do.
Mean, he is the medical degenerate. I mean, let's be honest.
Like,
this is on brand.
All right, moving on.
This is on brand for Alex to ask these questions.
No, I ride the anti-Colorado train now really hard.
You better ride it all the way to the end.
I will. Put the flaps up.
Let's start with the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Wow.
Was a loss.
I feel good about that pick, man.
Geno Smith said, nope.
The Midwest Mobster.
Okay, Mike Allstott hit stick pick goes to 1 and 2 as the Lions do not cover against the Seahawks. The Midwest Mobster risky pick.
Get out of here.
Is a winner again, bringing it to 2 and 1 as the Ravens, as moneyline dogs, beat the Bengals. We're doing pretty good there, guys. We're doing good.
I know. We're like better. Risky
I don't
shit.
think risky, but as risky as we intended.
It's by nature risky, but maybe we're just better at picking them. And to be honest, overall, we just picked the wrong games for the Mike Allstott pick.
Yeah.
True.
We just can't come to the consensus to the right game. And lastly, the Lolita whale of a parlay.
Yep.
My man.
It was a.
Did you two have a discussion about?
I don't know. I felt like I already pissed Jim off enough. So
okay, was a loss, taking it to 0 and 3. The Lions to cover versus the Seahawks, and the Buffs to cover against Colorado State do not win. So the parlay was dead before it even got to Sunday. The winning legs were Penn State to cover against Wisconsin and the Colts to cover against the Texans.
I will say this one was less. This parlay was on par for our usual parlays. The hope wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
I don't. I mean, never mind. I'm not going there.
Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
No, I was nervous when we put the Colorado game in because of the hype that Colorado, like, just because of that. That's a big spread for like a rivalry game, big hype.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I guess you know what the parlay did make it to Sunday because the Colorado game didn't end for us until
Sunday,
like 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah. No, I felt good about the Detroit game. I hate to go against Geno Smith, but
there we are. All right, this will bring us to NFL Week 3, starting off on Thursday night as the Giants travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The 49ers 10.5-point favorites. 44 is the line on the over-under.
10.5 is high.
Well, guess what, boys? The Giants are without a whole bunch of people. The 49ers are going to make this work. I'm going against the rules in place, and I'm going to take the 49ers to cover minus 10.5 on Thursday football.
Ayuk is questionable still, yeah?
Ayuk is questionable, but guess who isn't? Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel.
That 10.5, though.
Have we watched the Giants play football?
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley is questionable, probably not playing.
Yeah, he's not going to play, probably.
And as Stephen A. Smith would say, all the Giants are is Saquon Barkley in a bag of chips. And guess what? The 49ers can squash that bag of chips.
I'm leaning. That 10.5 got me sketchy.
Yeah, I think that Saquon Barkley is going to be out, and I think that that's really the Giants' only hope.
So are you betting it too?
I don't know that I'm betting it.
Make it a team ride on Thursday, boys. Let's go down with the ship.
That's it.
Are we allowed to bet on Thursdays?
Hey, listen. I said I'm breaking.
Muff doesn't really have any rules. He
And
hasn't
he's
really
up
had any.
9. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I feel like we can't give him rules.
I
can't
don't
go
care
put
about
barriers on the muff.
I don't care about the 10.5. Like that, I see this as a 2+ touchdown win.
Yeah. Okay.
Mostly because I can't see the Giants scoring points. Saquon Barkley plays, he's not healthy.
I'm leaning it. I'll lean and give it more thought to the end.
Right. Moving on to Sunday football. First, the Titans traveling to Cleveland take on the Browns. Browns 3.5-point favorites. 39.5 points is the points line. There's a slight chance of rain. Obviously, the Browns are without Nick Chubb. They also have questionable in Amari Cooper and a couple defensive players for the Titans. Doubtful is one of their offensive linemen, and a couple of their defensive backs are questionable. I am going to stay away.
Me too.
Because I don't know what the Browns are without Nick Chubb.
But we don't know what Titans show up either.
Also true. Even more reason to stay away.
Is there really a great version of the Titans this year?
Well, if Derrick Henry rushes for 150 plus,
That's it, exactly.
But he hasn't really yet.
That's exactly
I
Alex.
did on
It
my
could
fantasy
happen.
team.
But that's what I'm saying. Is there a step down in? Never mind. It's a betting show.
I ditched the fantasy Brown on my fantasy team. I ditched the Browns defense because of Henry. If he shows up and has a good day,
You ditched them, like you put them on, you waived them.
yeah.
Okay, glad you told me that.
I worry about Henry torching him.
That's
You're worrying about one game, so you just let the defense go.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think that was ill-advised.
I picked up the Jaguars at where are they at?
We'll
The
talk about them
Texans.
later. We'll talk about them later. But yes, I understand. Next, do we have everybody staying away?
Yeah.
yes.
Chargers at the Vikings.
What?
Chargers
Jim's gone. There it is. He's back.
-1.5 over under 53.5. Obviously, Chargers will not have the services of Austin Eckler in this game. And the Vikings will not have one, potentially two offensive linemen. But this does not deter me, gents, as I am going to be taking the Vikings +1.5. They finally squeak out a close one. And I think without Austin Eckler, the Chargers are less than stellar this week.
I think I'm afraid for Mason Rudolph.
Kirk
I don't know
Cousins.
where that came from. Kirk Cousins' life. If he's missing some of his starting offensive linemen.
I've been worried about his life since quarterback came out.
Yeah,
so
I
there's
know.
nothing new here for me.
I won't bet the game, but Muff, I don't think it's a bad pick. I'm just not going to bet the game.
Alex, staying away.
Yeah, I think I'm
Patriots.
gonna eventually pick something in the NFL.
Patriots traveling to the Meadowlands take on the Jets. Patriots -2.5 over under 37. There is a chance of rain. It's going to be windy. Windy, I'm going to classify as 15+ mile-an-hour winds throughout the game. The Jets, questionable. We have Breece Hall, as well as one of their backups, Abanikata. Their kicker is also questionable, along with two of their defensive backs. Patriots have question marks for offensive lineman wide receiver Booty, offensive lineman Brown, and defensive back Jones.
I like the Patriots here. Bill tends to not lose to the Jets. The weather that you mentioned kind of bothers me. I like the under here too.
Yeah, I said chance of rain. That doesn't mean it's going to be raining.
I think the windy's what bothers me.
Well, both of these teams should be relying on their ground game anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think that really changes game plans.
I'm
staying
take
away.
the Pats.
Yeah. Alex?
I will be staying away from this game.
All right.
We'll see.
Next are the Bills at the Commanders. Bills favored by 6.5 over under 43.5.
Why Eddie? It's just wild to me that we're not jumping on it.
The Commanders 2-0. Sam Howell's played well. The Commanders are now, at least for the most part, whole again on their defensive line. So the Commanders are one of those teams that could stay within a field goal in this one and ruin that -6.5. If that's where you're thinking you should be leaning.
I think that's like kind of it. It's like, why are we like? It's just wild to me. Is that concerning for the Bills season that we're sitting here saying we don't think they can beat the Commanders by a touchdown?
I think it's more on. I understand what Muff said, but I think it's more on Josh Allen's quarterback play has not been that of the last 2 years. Diggs has not been getting the lights out catches that have happened the last 2 years. I think it's concerning.
I'm staying away.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
don't.
tons of times left in the season for the Bills to
Yep,
right the ship. I just don't feel comfortable with the ship at the moment.
yep,
That's
I
fair.
agree.
Texans at Jacksonville taking on the Jaguars. Jaguars favored by 8.5. Odd line over under 44.5.
Oof.
8 is high.
Is it?
7.5, I might bite.
What's
8
the
is
difference
high.
between 7.5 and 8.5 for this one for you? Like, I really want to know.
It's just like to me, it's a feeling.
The feel.
I'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. 8.5 means they know something.
So you smell something fishy.
Yeah, it's just like, ooh, what do you know?
Do you
What are your
know?
thoughts on this game, Muff?
So I'm staying away, and if I were to give you the reasons that I'm staying away, um, the Jags have Zay Jones, I think, is a key to the Jaguars' offense.
Yeah,
He did
because
not play last week, or phrase that, he did not. I think he went out at some point during last week's game. And I think he's what keeps the Calvin Ridley train moving, which then allows ETN to potentially be a weapon within that offense. And with him questionable, I just don't trust the Jaguars offense to be successful, which may be what keeps it within a touchdown because the Texans just hang around, hang around, hang around.
okay, that's reasonable. I'm gonna keep it on a lean for the Jags,
All right. Okay.
but not for sure. But
Colts at Baltimore taking on the Ravens. Ravens favored by 7.5. 45.5 is the points line. It will be windy in Baltimore. Baltimore has a host of questionable players, including Justice Hill, running back, offensive tackle Stanley, as well as center Linderbaum. Safety Williams is questionable, and safety Washington is out. Obviously, for the Colts, we have no idea what's going to be happening with Anthony Richardson, and they also have a couple of offensive linemen that are questionable in Quentin Nelson and their center. So I'm staying away from this because the unknown of Anthony Richardson is what keeps me away from this game.
What about the underbuff?
I think again, if Richardson's playing, I think the Colts can compete within a touchdown of the score. I think the Ravens are going to put up points in this one no matter what. Again, both teams I think are relying on these rushing attacks overall. So I'm staying away from that over under just because this could easily go over or it could easily be under.
Okay. I'm out then.
if I knew for sure 100% that Richardson was going to be healthy and well, I think I'd take the Colts plus 7.5. But that unknown makes me nervous.
If it was me and I was the coach, I would leave him out for a week.
I agree. I mean, he's gone down 2 weeks in a
That's
row.
why I'm.
And I'm not going to put a bet based on a hunch of what he
Yep.
should or should not do. Falcons taking on the Lions in Detroit. Lions minus 3.5 over to 46.5. The Lions have just been decimated by some injuries.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
CJGJ's out. Houston is out at linebacker. Paschal's out on the line. Dorsey is out in the defensive backfield, along with two offensive linemen that are questionable, and others like just there. St. Brown is questionable. Bugs, Mosley, these are all questionable. Montgomery. So they have just so many people. The Falcons are pretty unscathed. I think any of their injuries are all preseason or pre-week one injuries. So it hasn't changed the scope here. For all of that being said, I'm leaning very hard. I'm probably going to go with the under. And this is mostly just because the Falcons are not going to light up the scoreboard. I think probably in any games, at least for the foreseeable future. And they play a game that's all ball control. And in the Lions, I just don't think are going to have the firepower this week to put up big points on them.
I kind of lean the Falcons plus the points.
Good opinion, Alex.
I know. I don't want to go against the Lions. But the under, you made a convincing argument.
I'm leaning very hard, and it's probably going to be in there. So
Okay, you made a convincing argument for me.
next, Saints traveling to Green Bay to take on the Pack. Pack -2 over under 42.5. There's a chance of rain. Going to be some wind. Packers still unsure if they're going to have Christian Watson and Aaron Jones. David Bakhtiari is questionable. Saints lost Jamal Williams at running back. And also maybe without one of their other backup running backs who's questionable, Miller. I'm staying away. Without knowing about Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, doesn't give me a lot of faith to do much with the Packers. And the Saints, I think Saints is one of those teams I'm just going to stay away from all year.
Yeah, but I feel like they aren't good. Like they haven't looked good yet, and I think the
Yes, thank
Packers
you.
have looked good.
Thank you. That's where I was at.
I'm gonna keep. I think I might be taking the Packers.
But Muff streaks got me so twisted.
A field goal.
Just because I'm staying away just means I'm not confident. If you feel confident in something, have at it. It's not like
I know.
I'm not like I'm going the opposite of you. I'm just saying I don't feel confident in it.
Muff's got me so twisted. I don't know.
This
I
is what
think I
happens
gotta
when I
think
bring
about what
logic and reason to the inmates here.
I hate when he does that.
I know, but he's doing so well. I gotta think about it.
That's fair.
Okay. Moving on to the Broncos taking on the Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 6.5 over under 48.5. Rain and thunderstorms likely in Miami for this game.
I'm very glad you're putting the weather in because I was gonna be like, I think we should take the over. But then you said rain and thunderstorms.
He's kind of taking the fun out of this for me.
Well,
Why? Because it's not a crapshoot anymore?
because we're actually having winning records.
He's kind of taking the whole fucking attitude, just totally shot it down for me.
Oh, because I make you bet a reasonable amount of games instead of just going pew, pew, 5 shots, explosives.
And then like Alex would say something, and I'd be like, let's do it.
Right? Now I've just put on paper why you shouldn't do it. Before I would just be like, I think this is a bad idea.
But because
Now I
you
can
wrote
be
it
like,
down, it feels more real.
Yeah,
Right?
he's kind of put the inmates on like handcuffs.
We could just ignore you when you were just saying it.
Yeah.
I
What
think
does
you
Muff
guys
know?
I think you guys need like 2 sets of notes.
I'm talking.
The less my additions and just the games.
Like, damn. Listeners, if you like this show, it's because Muff knows what the hell he's doing.
For now. I know until I don't know, gents. I know until I don't know. So yeah, I'm staying away from this game. The weather creeps me out. I just I should be trusting in Mike McDaniel over Sean Payton in this game. I should with all of my being. I just
With their weapons.
can't make myself do it. I can't make myself do it. If it rains, it does rain hard. Remember, we've seen some terrible rain games in Miami.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get one of those, Broncos easily stay in that game.
Yep, I'm staying away from it.
Panthers traveling to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. The Hawks, favored by 6. 42 is the points line. Rain likely in Seattle. Shocking, I know. For this game, again, I'm staying away. I don't trust either of these teams right now.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
I care. Oh, I mean, I'm rooting for the Seahawks, but other than that, I don't trust it enough to put my money there.
All right. Next, Bears traveling to Arrowhead Stadium, take on the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 12.5 over under 47.5. There's a chance of rain and thunderstorms in Kansas City.
Don't care.
Kadarius Toney is questionable. Is he questionable because he has brick hands?
Yeah, he's questionable, all right.
Questionable. It's questionable that he's on your team, Kansas City. I'm going to stay away. I think we've talked, and there's a lot of information out there about the Chiefs being able to win all sorts of games but not covering. This is one of those games where I feel like the Chiefs are going to win by 7 or 10 points.
Yeah, but
And
not
I get pissed off because they've like squandered 10 points throughout the game.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cowboys traveling to Arizona to take on the ring, 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 ring. Remember, don't win the game, Cardinals. Cowboys favored by 12.5 over 43. Cards have four, count them, four defenders out for this game. Cowboys have some questions across the offense and defense, a couple linemen, as well as a couple of their defensive backs. But all that being said, I'm going to take the Cowboys to cover because it's the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals. Cowboys cover.
I forget, does your betting Cardinals rule it generally applied if you were betting on the Cardinals, correct?
Yeah, that was a first 6 weeks. That was with Kyler Murray Cardinals.
Yeah.
All right, this is different.
Here's the rub with that, right? I agree. I want to hammer that home, and I would give up some of my leaners to hammer that home. When do the Cowboys stop covering?
Not this week in my mind. Let's just put it this way. Micah Parsons by himself can probably destroy the Cardinals' offensive backfield, let alone that they have other people on their defense that are show-out defenders. James Conner is not going to be able to get going. Whoever's playing quarterback, Josh Dobbs, is going to be back there like Geno Smith waiting for Aaron Donald to just hunt him down. Like, that's going to be every other snap, I feel.
As Yinzers, right? I want you guys to know. I really want you guys to know. We're in dangerous territory. Explain. I hope you all understand that.
Explain.
Them Cowboys fans are coming.
What? Coming for what?
It's about to be that time.
They're coming for the crown. They want to be America's team.
They're about to come out the woodwork. Them jerseys are starting to come out of that mothball-ridden closet. They're about to come out, and you're going to hear that fan base be the most annoying fan base on earth again.
It's okay. Until they win a playoff game. What do I care?
It's your figure.
They can go 17-0 this regular season. Guess what?
They're going to
lose in their first playoff game.
It's coming, boys. I'm telling you.
I'm not going to say it's not, but you know what? If they're going to keep covering, I will jump on that bandwagon.
It's dangerous.
In Sunday Night Football, we have the Steelers taking on the Raiders, favored by 2.5 over 43. Raiders are going to be without the services of defensive end Chandler Jones, as well as one of the defensive backs, and Jacoby Myers is still questionable. Steelers will not have Cameron Hayward and Deontay Johnson again, along with Minka Fitzpatrick being questionable, along with Gunnar Olszewski, who's the primary returner.
Yeah, that's the only injury that doesn't alarm me.
You're right. I mean, he got his claw cleaned.
Yeah, the other three are big misses for us. I'm not betting this game either way, but as a Steelers fan, having those three guys out makes me nervous.
I mean, Steelers are traveling. They're traveling to Vegas. We all know the Vegas effect, as well as the West Coast effect, or at least traveling across those time zones for teams from the East Coast. Steelers are coming off a win, which was unexpected. I think this is going to come down to which offense makes the least mistakes, and I just can't, in good faith, say that Kenny Pickett's going to be the guy who makes the least mistakes yet.
I don't think it's mistakes. I just am so sick of I'm literally nauseous thinking about having to watch the Steelers offense.
Blame Canada.
Right. I mean, I actually heard some additional commentary on that about, yes, you can put some of this on Canada, but Kenny Pickett is also making some poor throws and reads where he should be thinking through things differently. Unless he's being told, read the routes this way, go this receiver to this receiver. He's locking in on targets, and that's bad.
Yeah, he's young. He'll work that out.
He needs to work it out in the next 3 or 4 games before people start.
I love how you are. Will not write Kenny Pickett off. I love it.
Not yet.
No, he doesn't deserve to be written off yet.
Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud.
I haven't written off either of them. I think Justin Fields is earning his write-off. C.J. Stroud hasn't earned anything yet.
I mean, Kenny Pickett has a winning record as a starter, Jim. Justin Fields does not. C.J. Stroud does not.
He has a win.
Moving on to Monday Night Football. We've got the double slate on Monday this week. First, the Eagles taking on the Bucks. Eagles favored by 4.5, over/under 46.
I think the Eagles win. I'm not as confident to put my money on it, but I think the Eagles win. I think they cover. My slate's gonna get full.
All right, this would be like the ultimate Eagles come out game.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, silence some of the doubters, but it's against a 2-0 Bucks team that is questionable as a 2-0 team in my mind. So this is one of those games where the Eagles could win by 10 plus, say, oh, we shut up the doubters. And it's like, well, you beat a 2-0 Bucks team that really should they be 2-0? So I'm staying away either way. Be interested, the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rams at Bengals. Bengals favored by 2.5 over to 43.5. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ended up on the injury report as a question mark.
He did like something weird happened to him.
Strained his calf.
Same calf.
Or hamstring or whatever.
Yeah, was it the same calf?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the same calf. He's re-aggravated the calf injury.
I would too.
Right.
It hurts, coach.
Is this a Bengals turn it around game, or do the Rams beat them?
I think that's the question. I think that's what you're going to find out that night.
And if you're going to ask me, I think it's more likely that the Rams compete in this game than the Bengals win by a touchdown plus.
If Joey B guts it out and plays that first series and touches the ground, if I'm him, I'm going, well, you didn't fix it. I'm going back. I hurt.
Here's what I want to know. Is this his left calf or his right calf?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because if he's right-handed.
No, I don't care about that. I'm not. No, this has nothing to do with his throwing motion.
Oh.
If it's his left calf, it leads me to believe that he is pushing off his left calf so hard to escape from the oncoming rush that he has hurt himself trying to escape.
Trying to run away.
Run away.
If it was his right calf, like, oh yeah, maybe he'd not be able to lean into and put all the mustard on throws that he'd like to. I'm like, if it's his left one, he may not be able to run away quick enough. He might get caught up in the Aaron Donald. Demond?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
How does Joe Burrow sound, Jim, when he says, oh my God, when Aaron Donald's running at him?
I don't think he's going to say that. I think he's more of a shit.
Screw you. Insert offensive lineman name.
Right.
Why did you block him?
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right. That takes us through the NFL slate, leading us into college football week 4. That's right, boys. We've reached week 4. Now, I may have not put all the games in here.
It's going too fast.
Well, you have a big game this week, Jim. Big game for you.
Ugh.
Big game for me, too. So, let's see. If there's any games you two want to add, feel free to toss them in as we go through. I did not see anything of potential for me until Friday when we have first Wisconsin traveling Purdue to take on the Boilermakers. Wisconsin favored by 5.5 over under 53.5. Not taking it. It's the first thing I saw that I was like, oh, maybe we can talk about this.
The first one to speak on. Yeah, no, I'm not going to take it, but it's something to watch on a Friday night.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Big Ten Friday night. Moving on to Saturday football. Auburn traveling to Texas A&M to take on the Aggies. A&M favored by 7.5 over under 51.5 points.
Yeah,
A&M has
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, A&M should cover this game, I feel like, but hasn't blown the doors off anyone enough to be very confident and put my money there.
They haven't instilled faith.
No. They haven't instilled doubt, but they haven't instilled faith. I'm very neutral, so I think I'll just stay away.
Okay. There it is. I'm also staying away. Next, we have Rutgers traveling to the Big House to take on Michigan. Michigan favored by 24.5 points over the undefeated Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 44.5 is the points line.
I don't think Michigan covers. I don't have the money to. I don't have the.
You have the money.
Room. I don't have the slot room to.
I mean, if you feel that confident, kick one of them buggers out.
Here we go.
No, I got a good thing going. You're not talking me into it, but
what did we talk you into? What did he talk you into last week?
I think it was a win.
I was gonna say, was it a win or a loss? I don't remember.
Unless it was Colorado, because it wasn't Detroit.
Colorado would be the Patriots only game. No, it wasn't.
I didn't talk you into the Patriots game because I wasn't tailing it. It could have been Colorado, and I may have led you astray, but I was leading myself astray at the same time.
I don't think it was something that you picked too. I think it was something that we were like harassing him. Like, you're like, if you feel so good about it, Jim, take it.
Now, his
I
Patriots
think it was
pick
the
was a
Penn State
spike.
game.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So I talked you into a good one there,
Yeah.
but I was also on that. I'm not on this one either way.
Yeah, no.
I just honestly think that Rutgers, they call it a gut pick, but I'm not putting my money on it because I have other games I want to bet.
All right. Number 4, Florida State traveling to take on Dabo Sweeney and
Already
the
hammered
Clemson
it.
Tigers. Florida State minus 2.5 over to 55.5.
Give me Florida State and a sad Dabo.
I lean that way too, but now I would have been all over it, but I'm nervous because last week Florida State bamboozled me, but I think I gotta
That's
ride it.
okay.
That was a
Sad
bigger
Dabo.
spread. Sad
Sad
Dabo.
Dabo.
Sad Dabo. See, I think this is where Jim talks me into something. Sad Dabo.
That's between you two because I'm going to stay away. I also, saw what Florida State did not do against Boston College last week.
This
They
is
play
the
like that.
comeback.
That was the red bandana game.
Yeah, they looked great up to that game.
Boston College had 18 penalties and still was within a field goal.
Sad Dabo.
Sad Dabo.
That's on YouTube. Dab's gonna be running down that hill.
Sad Dabo.
He's gonna have them all out there ready to go.
Sad Dabo.
Okay. I'm staying away. You two are both on it, sounds like.
Yep.
I am.
Did you lock this in at 2.5, Jim, or did you have a different line?
2.5.
Yeah, so there was
2.5 right
there was
now,
no
yeah.
benefit. Jim was with the group on Monday saying, I want to lock this bet in. I want to lock this bet in. Can I count it for the show at this line? And it didn't move.
I wanted it. I want Sad Dabo.
Okay. Well, you could have got Dabo on Wednesday all the same.
Sad Dabo.
Okay. Virginia Tech at Marshall. Marshall favored by 5.5 over under 41.5. Alex, I took this one because Marshall was favored by 5.5 over Virginia Tech.
I know. I'm excited about that for them. I'm probably not going to bet on it.
I don't know enough about Marshall to say anything.
Right. Rutgers just covered against Virginia Tech last week. Rutgers won by like 10-ish. So there's a point of reference. I'm staying away. I just want to give Alex some love with Marshall.
Thank you.
Oklahoma traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bearcats. Oklahoma favored by 14.5 over to 57.5.
I like Oklahoma in this game. I think Cincinnati lost to Miami of Ohio last week.
And didn't put on a great performance against Pitt.
I know, and Oklahoma's pretty good. It's a leaner for me. That's why
I don't think it's a bad pick.
No, I don't. It's a leaner. I'm going to see how the rest of the card shakes out. I don't want to get crazy and have a huge slate, but it's definitely on the short list for consideration.
Alex and I as well have tested the typical limits of our graphics. So I've figured out 7 games is about as much as I want to put in there and make it still look clean.
So basically, you're just worried about
anything over 7 just doesn't look right, and I got to rework things. So you take that for what you will, but make more work for me if you want by betting 8+.
That just probably inspires Jim to bet.
I know.
No, I'm not. I've made a rule in my brain not to go over.
Here's another game I'm going to throw out here, and I didn't have time to type it on. Army at Syracuse.
What's the spread?
Syracuse is favored by 13.5.
Oh.
But I think Army covers that.
No, I'm staying that far away from that son of a bitch.
Stay away. All the way away.
Syracuse looked really good against Purdue.
The Army looked really good.
Army against who?
No one.
Bingo.
Fine, I'll stay away. You hate America. You talked me out of supporting America.
No, I would not bet that game.
You can support America all you want, just not with that game.
Okay.
15 Ole Miss traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. Bama favored by 7 over under 55.5 points. I feel like Jim already knows where he is on this.
I hit Ole Miss. I did it with no logic other than I want a happy Lane Kiffin. I want to beat the old man. This is the game. I'm putting my money in. If I lose it, I do not care. This is my time. This will be the happiest bet of the weekend.
What if Lane Kiffin wins and Dabo loses?
Oh my God. And an Ohio State victory, happiest college day.
Well, you need to pick 2 of those 3. Don't put all those eggs in the one basket.
I don't think you would sacrifice an Ohio State win for.
I'm willing to have a sad Dabo to Ohio State win.
Okay.
And a Lane Kiffin loss.
Okay. We can work with that.
But if you get all three,
Woo! Trifecta.
Jim's trifecta.
Question: Did you take plus the points, or are you just going money line?
Plus the points.
Okay, that's
I'm
not a win
stupid.
then. That's
I'm
not a win.
stupid. For me, it's a win.
That might be my my suggestion for a risky pick. Ole Miss over Bama.
We'll talk about it.
Oh,
You two are not gonna just push me into that. Let's be real honest. If anything, I'll probably be like, let's take Clemson. 19 Colorado at number 10 Oregon. Oregon favored by 21 points over under 70.5. Get me as far away from this game as I can with no Travis Hunter. Colorado traveling for the first time this year. This could turn out poorly for the Buffaloes.
I really wish the over was like 65, 67. I don't want it to be 70. That way, like, oh, I'll take the over. But now I'm like 70, no.
Right. This is if you think that Colorado could have a game like they did against TCU with these two teams, then take that 70 over all day.
No.
That's it. You found the limit.
No, it's gonna be a track meet for sure.
Yeah.
But I think eventually Oregon shows out. The no Travis Hunter is what does it.
It's a big piece of all of the puzzle there. Like that could open up the offensive opportunities for Oregon as well as decrease the offensive opportunities for Colorado.
Yep. It's gonna come down to the Sanders. Like, can you two boys handle Oregon?
Did you guys hear him talk about how he like that
power ranks his sons?
Yeah, that's freaking weird. That's freaking weird.
No, that's being a parent. Sorry, JoJo. That's being a parent.
Yeah, but would you ever come out on national TV and be like, I prefer one of my children over the other?
I want to say this. Shiloh Sanders was bottom of that list. And guess what he did last week, Alex? Pick six, forced fumble.
Like, I know deep down that my dad has a list of favorites, but he pretends he doesn't at least. No, he does tell us he just hates all of us equally. He doesn't tell us he loves us all.
That's just because he avoids telling you the list. That's how he does it.
No, I know he has a list. You know, like I can tell. But
did you guys not hear me? Dion plays mind games with his kids.
That's
Shiloh had to prove to his dad why he was deserving to be higher on that list, and he did.
I'm not saying that deep down there isn't a list of favorites. I feel like it's weird to announce on national TV. Like I felt horrible for Shiloh. His dad was like, "Yeah, I just don't like."
I hate to tell all of them, but his daughter's the top.
No. Oh yeah. Oh,
his daughter's not the top.
That's why I say I know my dad has a list. My sister can do no wrong.
Jim, not on the list that he put out there. If you believe that Shiloh's at the bottom,
he can say it.
Do you know who's at the top?
Shador.
No.
It's the one that does the videos.
It's the one that does all the media.
Yeah.
The one that's just put an absolute rocket ship behind this hype train.
And the one that makes him look good. That's just
boom.
Duh.
All right. 22 UCLA taking on Utah. Utah favored by 4.5 over under 52.5. Jim, can you confirm if Cam Rising is playing?
I cannot confirm. But you hammered Utah, so I don't understand.
I was waiting for you to confirm this.
I cannot confirm it. That's my problem.
Not confirm?
Because we haven't been able to confirm since week one.
Do some research.
I have been. I've been looking.
UCLA prepares for his potential season debut. 2 days ago.
They've been saying that for weeks.
Well, boys, I have one less. Until I can confirm that, Utah is not on my slate.
Like, the latest news is he looks good today. Like, what do you want me to do, Muff?
Good for him. I was just hoping you had an inside track on that.
I wish.
So I'm staying away then. Staying away.
Sorry, man.
Texas Tech traveling to Morgantown to take on the Mountaineers. Texas Tech favored by 6.5 over under 54.5.
There's a lot of talk, and I think it's recency bias. There's a lot of talk out of the WVU camps that they can win this game, which, if I'm giving people advice, I would say that WVU plus 6.5 would not be a terrible take. I don't see them getting blown out.
Texas Tech is garbage.
I know.
But what I don't know is
not a great team.
Right. I mean, WVU with their second string quarterback, correct?
Yeah. Nico Marchio. He's not, I mean, to be honest, yes, he is the second string quarterback. When I watch them play, do I think he's that far behind Garrett Green? Not really.
Okay. Yeah, I'm staying away.
If we had a stud quarterback to start, I mean, Garrett Green's serviceable, but you know what I mean? It's not like you're taking out Quinn Ewers and putting in a second string.
What? Arch Manning?
Well, okay, that
I
was
think
a
it may
bad
have been a bad
example.
example.
That was a bad example. But if Quinn Ewers was at West Virginia right now, is what I meant. Someone of that caliber.
Got it.
Which will never happen.
Arkansas at number 12, LSU. LSU favored by 17.5 over under 54.5.
LSU won't cover that.
They won't. 100%.
They're not talking me into it, but no.
So you don't want to take 100% bet. I mean, that's on you if you don't like money.
I don't like money. You're not talking me into it.
Okay, the man who works at a bank does not like money, everyone. Just likes to lock people in the vault. App State at Wyoming.
It was one time.
Wyoming minus 2.5 over under 42.5. I just thought this was interesting. I have no particular lean on this, but I think this matchup would be maybe a fun one to watch.
How late is the game?
It is 8 o'clock or earlier.
Not fun. 8 o'clock, I'm out.
Or earlier, somewhere in that
Maybe.
range. This is chronologically based on time of game, this list.
Okay.
14, Oregon State at 21, Washington State. Oregon State favored by 2.5 over to 57.5.
Now this will be a good game. Should be a very close game.
I just don't like watching either of these teams play. And for that reason, I don't want to be on it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with that synopsis.
I mean, it's an 8 o'clock game. I think it's 7:30, 8 o'clock game. So there's too much other stuff going on that's going to occupy my mind. And I won't have to worry about if the Beavers are covering.
If their Beavers are covered.
Covering.
Oh, okay.
I was with you, Alex.
I was like, Jim, you better laugh. That was funny.
The big bad, mean, scary Buckeyes of Ohio State at number 6, traveling to touchdown Jesus, number 9, Notre Dame. Ohio State favored by 3.5 over under 55.5. Good commentary. Great podcasting. Great podcasting.
I don't want to give my opinion on the game.
Gun to my head, I'll take the over.
Gun to Alex said, I think he's taking Notre Dame and just doesn't want to say it out loud.
Not stirring the pot.
I don't think that's a bad pick.
I would say gun to my head, probably take Notre Dame, but I'm not going to stir the pot.
Money line with the points.
Yeah, you got to take the points. 3.5.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad pick.
I just want to watch. No, I don't. Not going to watch this game. I apologize. There's another game that's more interesting to me.
I don't think it's bad, honestly. I don't think Ohio State's done enough for you to say, yeah, they'll cover that. I don't. I think Notre Dame getting those points makes sense. Sam, whatever the face, quarterback Jesus, is probably the better quarterback in the game. I think the coaching staff
is probably the better quarterback. I mean, come on.
I'm Jim. Sorry, is the better quarterback.
Let's be honest.
I think the coaching staff for Notre Dame is not as good as Ohio State's coaching staff. Athletically, Ohio State on paper should be better, but the quarterback can't use the weapons that he has. Defense has been sluggish at times.
So you're leading the over with a quarterback that can't utilize his all-star wide receivers.
I think 55 points is low for this team. Both teams they're explosive.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, I'm staying away. 24, Iowa traveling to Happy Valley to take on Penn State. Penn State favored by 14.5 over under 40.5. Everybody get your step stools out so that people can crawl out of somebody's ass.
What do you think about the over here, Muff?
Deep fake AI.
40
Penn State was not world beaters.
AF, Muff, not AI.
I said AI.
Why?
What? Offensive coordinator
AI?
For deep fake AI for Iowa's offensive coordinator saying the step stools thing.
What's AI mean?
Artificial intelligence.
Deep fake artificial intelligence.
What did you think it was? AF?
As fuck.
As fuck.
You thought I said deep fake AF?
Thick as fuck. What
Anyway.
artificial intelligence? What was artificial intelligence about?
Like
that's
that
how it was
someone edited
generated.
the video or something.
Yeah.
You don't think he actually said it?
No, he didn't, Jim. I think it's been proven multiple times. It was not a
Oh.
real press conference.
Huh.
It was hilarious. Hilarious as shit.
I just love that he was like, "No, Muff, you're making me say
I thought it was real.
I'm not even making fun of
Oh,
him.
I wasn't sure when I watched it. I was like, oh, this is pretty funny. And then I listened to some things and did a little research, and I was like, huh, that didn't really happen. People are doing crazy stuff with the internet these days.
I'm scared for artificial intelligence.
He didn't even know what it was a minute ago, and now he's horrified.
Now I'm the guy on the porch.
yeah, you are. You are. But yeah, if you're talking about this game, Penn State wasn't beating the world down with their offense last week. Iowa is going to bring a defensive effort. I think Penn State can definitely bottle up the Iowa offense in this game, as Central Michigan could not. This is just one of those games where it's going to be a Big Ten game, and I don't trust Penn State to cover 14.5. I think they can win by 10 to 14 points, but that hook keeps me away from it. And the over under again, this could be a knockdown drag out.
Gotcha.
Okay. You want Jim opinions here?
I mean, this is a betting show where we give our opinions, so I would hope.
No,
Alex doesn't give his opinion about Notre Dame, but let me tell you, Jim, Notre Dame's going to win according to Alex.
This is how I feel. This is how Jim's weekend will go. Okay. I'll wake up that morning. If everything's gone right, I have to go to work. If work runs smooth and I have a good day, I'm like, all right, I'll come home. Everything will be cool. If the first couple games start hitting, I'll be happy. Okay. Both games will be on, the Ohio State game and the Penn State game. If Ohio State plays lights out and they start mollywhopping Notre Dame, Penn State will drag ass. Okay?
Because those two are
Telling you how I
related.
feel.
Those two are related. Got it.
This is how my weekend goes, Muff. Okay?
What if is Noah working with you on Saturday?
No.
Okay. I'll say he could influence your day.
If it
positively or negatively.
if it goes the inverse, where Ohio State's dragging, Penn State will hit. And they'll go gangbusters.
Okay.
Both teams will not have great nights. Impossible. Now.
Impossible?
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, if the sun, the stars, and the moon are aligned, okay?
Yeah.
Rutgers will drag Michigan through the mud.
Okay.
Okay?
Listening.
If that happens,
mm-hmm.
my day at work will be fantastic. I will have a fantastic day at work.
What if Rutgers drags Michigan and Ohio State is in a field goal game with 5 minutes left without the ball?
And my day it'll be a sour day.
Okay.
But Penn State will be hitting hard.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But
I mean, Ohio State could still cover in that situation I just posed to you.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, if Rutgers drags Michigan through the mud, we might both hit hard.
You said that was impossible.
I said might. It's like the sun, the stars, and the moon have aligned.
That's still possible.
But it's not going to happen.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance situation.
But like, if Rutgers upsets Michigan, Katie, bar the doors. The apocalypse has happened. Our games are going to be wild cards.
All right. Alex, what are you going to do if all this? Alex is an observer, an onlooker, and a reader of the text message chain as these things happen in real time on Saturday. I just want to know Alex's initial thoughts about what Jim just posed in terms of how the text message thread will be going on Saturday.
I feel like we'll be getting moment-to-moment updates on Jim's day to try to keep us on track for what is going to happen later that evening. I kind of started to lose, like I was making paths in my brain and I think I'm a little lost, so I'm just gonna ride the wind.
It's gonna be nuts.
Jim will keep me posted on how the day's gonna go.
I will tell you at noon how my work
I
day
know
was.
that's what I'm excited to get that first report.
Yep.
The initial report.
And then I'll tell you at the end of the Michigan game.
As Alex and I may be traveling around a tailgate together.
I was just gonna say that. I'm
Maybe
glad to know
happen.
that answers a question I had for you, Muff.
There's the answer.
Where's this
I like
game
to hear.
at? Is it at Happy Valley?
Yeah.
Oh. Oof.
I don't know if it's a whiteout though. They did straight out.
The odds are not in my favor.
I would say they're probably saving the whiteout for the Michigan game.
The odds are not in my favor.
Okay. Number 3, Texas. Traveling to Baylor. Texas favored by 14.5 over under 51.5.
I want to say Texas covers this in my heart, but Baylor's a wild card.
Yeah, because they have looked really terrible and really decent, and that is why I will stay away from this.
Yeah.
Because the last time I let the Baylor not looking good go to my head, I lost money. So,
Will not be doing that again.
yes.
All right. Minnesota traveling to Northwestern to take on the Wildcats. Minnesota favored by 11.5. Rowing the boat on that tall grass over under 30.5.
The 11.5 is a bit much.
An odd number too.
Who did Minnesota play last week? And they did not do well.
No, Jim.
I've
given you all sorts of other information. You come forward with a question that you should have an answer to.
I would say take the 11.5 because it is Northwestern and they suck. I like the over here too.
Okay.
But
Not going to go with it.
No.
Okay. It's number 17, North Carolina, traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Panthers. North Carolina favored by 7.5 over to 50.5. Hammer at home. Give me North Carolina all the way. I don't understand why this is 7.5 and not like 10.
Pitt sucks so bad.
Drake May. That's all your North Carolina needs in this game.
Yep.
Done. Sealed. There's got to be something that's about to come out.
Shut
but
up.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna care. I'm just gonna do
Give
it.
me it. Give me.
Either way, UNC could try out their backup quarterback, and I would probably still consider this.
Yep. Give me.
Cal at number 8, Washington. Washington favored by 20.5 over under 60.5. I'm gonna ride this Washington train for the foreseeable future, gentlemen. Washington to cover 20.5 over Cal.
I think that's a little bit silly.
I don't know because I considered it as well. That was one of my many. I need to hear about it when Muff does it now.
Washington just traveled to Big Ten, Michigan State. Granted, Michigan State, we know what's going on there, and just beat the doors off of them. Cal is not a good team this year, guys. Washington is the class of that conference, in my opinion, and they're playing at home. Give them 24 plus points in the win.
Ugh. I don't like that pick, Muff.
Okay. You didn't like it last week either. And guess what, Jim?
You hit.
It worked.
I agree.
You didn't like 2 of my picks last week, and both of them won.
I know. I just don't like it.
Okay. Maryland traveling to Michigan State. Maryland favored by 7.5 over under 52.5. Staying away.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go back to the Cal pick. Like, Cal destroyed Idaho.
Oh my goodness. What a win.
They hung in with Auburn.
And Auburn is so good this year.
And they beat the shit out of North Texas. I don't know why you're saying they're not a good team.
You just said they beat 2 teams that I don't care about.
And hung in with an SEC team.
Hunting with Auburn.
And you think that they're going to get
mollywopped by Washington.
Beat up on them.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You know what? I'm not going to go against you because I feel pretty good about my card, but I think you lose that one.
Okay. You thought I was going to lose last week against Michigan State?
I can't wait to come back on the show and say I told you so. I think this is the one I'm actually going to finally hold up against you.
Okay. You can tell me so, but I'll still be 10 games up.
I'm excited.
All right. We'll see how that one goes. That's a late one, too. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to wake up Monday or Sunday and be like, hey, I told you so.
Told you so. Maryland at Michigan State. Anybody?
I don't understand why it's only 7.5.
I mean, Maryland's not great either.
I understand that you're on a hot streak, but like
You can state an opinion. I'm just saying that I don't think either of those teams are good at anything, great at anything.
Maryland hasn't played anybody, but they're 3-0.
Okay. Rutgers is 3-0 too, but they're 24-point dogs against Michigan.
Man, I don't know. Sometimes I think that you're a bit quick on their shit teams. Like,
Oh, this comes from you, the Ohio State fan.
what?
Ragging on teams. Ohio State fans. You, not you as a person, but collectively you as a fan
Thank
base.
you. Thank you.
I'll lump you in there for that comment.
That's not fair. I've been beating up on Ohio State fans for 2 weeks now.
I will give you that.
Thank you. Next game, please.
Who put this in? I didn't.
Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Iowa State favored by 3.5, over under 36.5.
They both
Alex,
suck ass. Do not
what
touch
about
this
the
game.
under?
It's Big 12 football. I won't take the under.
So
You never
hit the
know.
over.
These games can turn in. They both suck ass. I don't feel confident enough to do anything with this because I get it at 36.5. It's still Big 12 football, and I feel like Big 12 games can sometimes randomly turn into shootouts. I think the under could hit because they're both so terrible. I would take the over if I had a gun to my head in this game, but I don't, so I'm not going to go anywhere near it.
Okay,
Oklahoma State's garbage.
fair enough.
What's your answer? I'm staying away. I got nothing to do with this game.
Hmm.
All right. That's the slate. Alex, Jesus.
I know. I'm looking at Alex going, what are you
There's
doing?
there's some leaning. I'm not taking all of these.
Okay. All right. It brings us to our best bets. We'll start with the same order that we did off the top. Alex.
Great.
I don't
So
think he's
as
ready. I
always-
think you should probably go off.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, you need somebody else.
Let's go backward. Yeah. Go
I will
backward.
go first. I will take the 49ers to cover 10.5, taking on the Giants in Thursday night football. The Chargers at the Vikings. Vikings plus the 1.5. Falcons at Lions under 46.5. Cowboys to cover 12.5 at Arizona, taking on the Cardinals. North Carolina to cover 7.5, traveling to Pittsburgh. And the Washington Huskies to cover 20.5, taking on California at Berkeley.
I am going to take Florida State minus 2.5, Sad Dabo against Clemson. I'm going to take Ole Miss plus 7 against Alabama, beat the old man. Hammering home NC State minus 7.5, Pitt sucks. I am going to take the 49ers minus 10.5 to the Giants. I'm going to take the Patriots minus 2.5 to the Jets. I'm taking the Cowboys minus 12.5 to the Cardinals. And I think I'm almost 100%. It feels awkward, but I think that's where I'm going to stop. I like that Oklahoma pick, though.
Still time.
All right. I'm prepped. I'm ready.
Do it, Alex.
Now I'm going to have 2 NFL games this week. I'm going to take the Packers minus 2 versus the Saints, and the Jags minus 8.5 versus the Texans. I'm going to have a bigger college slate with Clemson or Florida State minus 2.5 at Clemson.
Why?
Sad Dabo.
Sad Dabo.
I am going to take Oklahoma minus 14.5 at Cincinnati. I'm going to throw a wild card in there that we did not talk about and take Colorado State plus 2.5 at Middle Tennessee. I'm going to take UNC minus 7.5 at Pitt and Washington minus 20.5 versus Cal.
Muff, why aren't you taking the Oklahoma game? Just out of curiosity.
Don't want anything to do with it
Why?
because I don't know anything about those teams.
That's it.
Yeah, why would I take a game that I don't know anything about the teams?
Because your gut tells you to. Remember when Muff used to be more fun?
Muff was fun, right?
You guys always used to call me no fun when I was winning or losing.
I think we just call you to one because you're usually trying to keep us in line.
Oh, Alex, I love that game. 14 and a half. Ooh.
I'm not talking you into it because I don't want to hear about it if it loses. To be
That's
honest,
fair. That's fair.
that's why I'm
Jim's a
gonna
grown
ride it.
man.
I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna let you make your own choice.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stay where I am. I got a big game this weekend with Ohio State. I'm not betting parlays. I need you guys to tell me Saturday morning. Don't bet parlays.
I'm not going to tell you not to do that. You do that if your heart
I'm
desires.
asking you as friend because I need
I'll try to
accountability
remind
buddy.
you if I remember.
That's a tough one for me to bank on. It's going to be
No
tough for me to
parlay.
tell you not to do it while I'm doing it.
Yeah,
What I'm
I'm
saying.
sticking with the 6.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really do many college parlays. I'll do the NFL ones. So no
That's how I
no
am.
college parlays, Jim.
No college parlays this
I
weekend.
can get on board with that because I don't do it.
Not gonna do it.
All right. Which brings us to the specialty picks, starting out with the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, pow, pow.
Well, well, well. So many games, and I don't know if we have a whole lot of commonality here. North Carolina,
Yeah, hammered home.
we
I'm
in.
okay with that. Eat shit, Pit.
The Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week is 17 North Carolina covers 7.5 traveling to Pittsburgh and Acrisure Stadium. Next, consideration for the Midwest Mobster risky pick of the week.
Get out of here. So, Lane Kiffin or Sad Dabo?
First off, Sad Dabo does not meet the qualifications, Jim. A moneyline dog would be we pick Clemson.
Oh no, fuck that. We need Sad Dabo.
I like Ole Miss. Kinda. I think it's fun.
We're doing well with this pick, guys.
I know.
It's a 7-point
beat
dog.
the old man.
It's a 7-point dog. Yeah, this is why we shouldn't do it because your justification for this is beat the old man.
Yeah.
Happy Lane. Sad Dabo. Simple creatures.
We should have the own pick where you two have this particular emotional response to it.
I thought about making a gym trifecta where it was Sad Dabo, Happy Lane, and Ohio State winning.
Jim just said that's. I guess that would be Penn State with that too.
Ole Miss money line. Ole Miss money line.
I'm just gonna put out there Vikings.
No.
Because
did you even consider that?
Because
I don't want to bet on the Chargers game.
That's
you don't have to.
I don't want to put that.
He doesn't want to have to root against his team.
Well, I don't want to put money on Ole Miss because I don't think.
All right, well that's your veto. So what, Alex? What do you have?
Oh no, we just vetoed the game, not my pick or your pick. We vetoed the game in which the picks happened, which means Alex cannot take Ole Miss.
All right, so we can come up with something else.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm doing a quick scroll back and see if I missed anything. I can't.
I mean, you have. I have no idea why, but you have Colorado State plus points.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I took Colorado State.
I understand. That's the only other game you have plus points.
No, I was scrolling back through like the whole slate real quick.
I still say beat the
Rams over Bengals.
I don't feel good about that one.
Muff, you're just a Debbie fucking Downer.
Just because I don't want to pick the game that you want to pick, Jim, doesn't mean Debbie Downer. It just means I don't
like Alex's pick. I don't have any problem with Alex's pick.
Which one?
The Rams game.
Why do you like it, Jim?
Because I think it might hit.
Rutgers money line might hit too.
UCLA money line at Utah.
We don't know about Cam Rising. That's very risky
though, Muff.
That is very risky, but
Muff, I understand you're on a heater. You don't have to bet the risky pick either.
WVU at Texas Tech.
I have been betting the risky pick,
well,
which is why I wanted
for a weekend.
Why, when we've had it winning?
App State at Wyoming.
No. Muff.
Jim.
You're being
Alex.
unrelenting here.
I'm being unrelenting? You've said no as many times as me.
I've said it twice. You've said it for 3.
Oh my God, that's so much different.
Give us
It's
another.
not the same
Each
as
of you
you
go
either.
back. Each of you go back to the drawing board and come up with another suggestion outside of your original one. It's bad. Remember, I'm turning into the voice of reason here. When we're relying on me to mediate, we've gone astray.
Washington State,
Against who?
Oregon State, Washington State at home. 2.5 point spread.
I'm okay with that because I probably would have taken that to begin with.
Yeah, whatever. Not as
Whatever.
fun. Not as fun, but whatever. What about Ohio State?
You mean Notre Dame?
Yeah,
That would be the
it's
risky
not
pick,
that.
Jim.
Yeah.
If you would have leaned into that,
I love that we are still 30 seasons in.
and Jim still doesn't understand what a money
And
line
it's
dog
not
is.
like this
It's
is
not like we don't explain it every week.
and it's not a shtick. That's my favorite part. It's not like he's doing it to be funny. Like it's real. This isn't AI, folks. We're not editing this in later. He really says this shit.
He says it every week. All
He's
right.
real AF.
Jim is AI AF.
Uh,
All right. Brings us to the Lolita whale of a parlay.
oh, that was an excited whale.
Thank you,
And so,
Takate.
for the record, what goes in this?
The Mike Allstott hit stick pick,
Uh-huh.
and then we each pick one of our best bets. You picked first last week, Jim. You don't get to pick first again this week.
It
You
has to be a best bet.
Yes. Because we want this to win, Jim.
Okay. Just want to be clear.
I don't understand where this comes into play.
Alex,
Why do you get to choose who
I'm
goes
counting
first?
on you here, buddy, to make a good decision.
We do this every time, and I feel like mine's been pretty consistently winning.
Alex, it's our opportunity
It is Alex's opportunity to do what Alex would like to
to
do.
get what we need in here.
Do you put money on this, Jim?
I have before, yes.
Are you putting it on this week?
If it means
I will say I do every week.
to shoot
Yeah.
Muff in the foot, yeah, I will.
Well, it's going to be a college game. You can't put parlays with college games on it.
You
Sorry.
don't control my
Sorry.
wallet, Muff.
You just told us to tell you this. We're telling you 3 days in advance.
Come on, Alex. Let's go, brother.
I will go with
Sad Dabo.
I know you can put in Sad Dappo too.
You get to go last, Jim.
Beat the old man.
Oh, I'll take Sad Dabo -2.5. Florida State -2.5 at Clemson.
Do not seek the bootlegger.
I was between that and Oklahoma anyway, and I actually like that pick. So
I
I'm
won't
leaving it
Let
because
me
I
know,
forgot.
Muff. When can I put my pick in there, buddy?
You go last, Jim.
Okay,
You go all the way last.
that's fine.
49ers to cover 10.5, taking on the Giants on Thursday Night Football.
So we know if we're in or out.
Done.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
I will take Ole Miss +7 against Alabama.
Such
love
an
it.
ass.
I do like it. Except for I honestly was gonna take Oklahoma because I thought you would want to pick Sad Dabo. I forgot about your Happy Lane pick.
Yeah.
So we've kind of twisted this into the excited Jim parlay.
If both listen, I'm gonna say
The
this.
inmates have colluded.
If we have a happy Dabo and a happy old man, you two cannot collude anymore in the Lolita Whale parlay. Not allowed, because that's what just happened.
You're not the boss of us.
In fact, in this particular situation, I am the
Sometimes
boss of
kind
you. All right. Going over our specialty picks first in the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week. 17 North Carolina, covering 7.5, traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Panthers in the Midwest Mobster risky pick of the week.
Get out of here.
Number 21 Washington State as Moneyline Dogs hosting number 14 Oregon State in the Lolita Whale of a parlay. North Carolina covers 7.5 at Pitt. Florida State, Sad Dabo covering 2.5, traveling to Clemson. The 49ers to cover 10.5 on Thursday Night Football, taking on the Giants, and Ole Miss +7. Sad
Beat the old
man
man.
to beat. Well, to cover against Alabama.
That was one of my best whale noises yet.
Did well. He did well. I feel like those are the whales that Aaron Rodgers is channeling to help heal his Achilles.
Him and Nick Chubb are going to be putting ayahuasca in their butts
I
together.
don't think Nick Chubb has any
No.
recovery in the next 7 months.
That's
Did
true.
they actually give a diagnosis on what he hurt?
His knee.
All of
His-
it.
But I mean, like, what
his knee.
exactly? it
Exact.
is?
His knee. Everything in his
I
knee.
think all of it.
His
But
knee.
no, they haven't. I haven't heard them come out and say directly, but
Yeah. I'm assuming it's like ACL, MCL, PCL,
LCL,
LCL.
and this guy.
You think he just blew out the whole thing?
He's done it once already.
Patellar tendon, patella fracture, tibial plateau fracture.
So
Everything.
does he just retire?
I mean, it's the
They've
second
talked
time he's
good.
blown out his knee. He did it at Georgia, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it at Georgia. Same knee.
Ugh,
So Does not-
sad Chubb.
I feel bad for him. He was a hell of a running back.
do sad men lead to happy dabos and then happy chubs or sad chubs?
Happy Chubbs or sad Chubbs?
Sad Chubb sounds weird.
Sad
I like
Chubbs.
happy Chubbs.
Happy chubs wake up in the middle of the night at midnight at the witching hour to
Typically,
consume
yeah.
to consume the sports stuff with Jim and Muff. You guys took you a second to catch on to my web of words there, didn't you?
Yeah, we're a little behind.
Hopefully next week we'll have some better minds, some happier minds, some sad dabos,
Sad
some
Dabo.
Chad
happy
Dabo.
lanes, and some old men that may or may not be coaching in the future. I don't know. Do we cheer for that? Do we cheer for Saban to not coach?
We cheer for Lane to beat him.
Okay, that's fair. I can get on board with that. I may not like it, but I can get on board with it. I can be on that train. As a reminder, follow us at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, sportsfw.com/Jim, Ampersand Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get that bell on.
Ding
Get
ding.
the bell on. Ride this choo-choo-choo train all the way to the end of the week, whenever you will have
A payday.